I close 45% of all the sales calls that I get on. I get this closing rate because I treat the prospect as a patient in an initial sales call. And I do that by positioning myself as a doctor whose job it is to truly uncover the buyer's pain and then actually go and resolve it. Now, I know that we've got a great product over at salesman.com. And I also know that most of the time, if I can show the prospect that the pain of doing nothing is higher than the pain of solving the issue, then they're going to want to get started. That's where this high closing rate comes from. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 8 discovery call steps that get me to that final purchasing conversation with the buyer. And most sellers that I train are surprised by how I handle step number 6. Hi, my name is Will and I make selling simple. If you want to grab our book, Selling Made Simple, click the link in the description below. Step 1 of the discovery call, or as we call them, diagnosis calls, is to uncover the pain that the prospect is actually in. And I like to start with super open-ended questions like, hey, what led you to getting this call booked in with us today? If that uncovers the pain, then I want to address why this hasn't been resolved in the past. So I'll ask a question like, hey, what's stopping you from solving this yourself? Or have you used other sales training providers in the past? How did that go? Now that I've uncovered the buyer's pain, it's time to really understand when they want to get this problem solved by. If the pain is unbearable and they want to get it solved immediately, then I'll always try and close them on that one single call. If alternatively they want to get this pain solved in 3 months, 5 years, 18 decades from now, they're probably not qualified to work with us, and so I won't even do a second call with them. And you can elicit the answer to this question by asking, hey, when does this issue need to be solved by? Now it's time to turn inward. You need to ask yourself if you can actually solve this problem in a timely manner for the prospect. If you can't solve the problem, that's absolutely fine. Be real with yourself here, and you'll save lots of messing around later on in the sales process because you'll disqualify a huge chunk of people coming through your sales pipeline. Now, obviously, I sell sales training for B2B complex sales. The return on investment of spending money on sales training, in our instance, should be very, very clear. But often I found when I've done, because I've done thousands of these calls at this point, spending X to earn Y isn't always enough of a motivator to get a deal done. It seems like it should be, but it isn't always the case. So I like to ask additional questions like, how would things be different if I solved this issue for you? Or, what is your motivation to make this happen? Okay, so we're moving rapidly through this discovery call process. Now we know the buyer is in pain. We know the time frame that they have to resolve this pain. You've looked inwards and you're pretty sure that you can resolve the issue, and there is a strong return on investment on working with you. Now we need to know the physical process that the buyer has to go through to make the deal happen. So in this step, we're going to ask about the buyer's purchasing process. And this is important because the sooner that you understand the process the buyer has to go through to spend money with you, the sooner you can start facilitating that very process. Remember, your prospect might only buy your product or service once in their entire career, whereas you're selling it day in, day out. Therefore, you can often help them through their buying process with some guidance and advice, and you can add a layer of value to the deal there as well. And so I always ask the question, when your organization has done similar projects to this in the past, what did that process look like? Now we come to the big one. This is what a lot of sellers, for whatever reason, avoid during the discovery process. This is the budget question. Now, lots of sellers have personal beliefs about money that dictate how they communicate then with other people about their budgets, their cash, and their thoughts and feelings about money as well. So if you get nervous when the budget part of the conversation comes up, then this is something you've got to work on. There's a full framework on becoming more comfortable with money in our second book, Sales Code, which you can download for free over at salesman.com. But with that said, I like to ask a couple of questions to uncover the budget that is available and to genuinely see if I can solve this person's problem, if we're going to get this over the line, if we can resolve these issues. Budget is critical to understanding the buying process and to making an educated guess as to whether this deal is likely to come in. So I ask the questions, how are projects like this usually funded? Or is a project like this in this year's budget? Or finally, you can ask, what financial scope do you have to solve this issue? Okay, so now that we've got the budget confirmed, it's time to better understand the internal account itself. Now, for large deal sizes, when you're selling to large enterprise organizations, there are going to be many, many people involved in the buying process. So what we need to do is identify the individual or individuals who may or may not be the person that you're speaking to right now, who is likely to push this project forward. We call these individuals our champions. So the question I asked to uncover the champion with my own account, so I'm doing these discovery calls, is, hey, is there anyone that your team looks to when they want to implement a project like this? Or I'll ask, if you were to make a purchase decision, who else would be involved in this process? Understanding the champion then leads us to the final step of our discovery call process. And imagine this, I want to go back to the doctor metaphor, right? Imagine a doctor is sat with a patient. They talk about the patient's symptoms, what they're experiencing, any recent changes that may have caused a problem, and finally, the doctor concludes the investigation and they land upon a suitable solution. And just before the doctor starts the treatment, the patient goes, I think I need to think about this for a few months. Can you send me a bit more information over email? That would be absolutely ridiculous, right? This patient has cancer, they've got a brain tumor, they're having a heart attack right there in the doctor's surgery, whatever it is. It would be ridiculous for them to just fob the doctor off and say, I'll come back to you when I feel like it. All that time and energy and expertise that the doctor has put into the consultation has been wasted because the patient didn't agree to start the medication, the exercise, the change in diet, whatever it is, and actually go and solve the issue. Well, that's what happens in the majority of B2B discovery calls that sellers make. We, however, are going to do things differently, right? We're going to get an agreement at the end of the discovery call to progress the sale forward, and you can do that by asking the very simple question, hey, so you're a good fit to work with us. If we can solve X, will you commit to Y? And I'll make this really practical. When I'm selling Salesman.com Academy, I'll ask the individual, the prospect, hey, so we help B2B salespeople just like you. If we can help you find and close more deals the next 30 days, which is completely guaranteed, will you commit to starting working with us today? And that one line right there, so a statement of we help people like you, then if we can solve X, will you do Y? That one line has driven hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of revenue for us over at salesman.com. And it typically turns a 3-week process of emails being batted back and forth and deals falling apart and then coming back online, and then something goes, you get ghosted, and then it comes back a few weeks later. It turns all this messing around into a one call close. So there you go. There are the 8 steps of the diagnosis calls that we do over at salesman.com. We teach this in our free book, Selling Made Simple, which you can grab at the link in the description below. And if you'd like to continue making selling simple, why not click the video that's on the screen right now?